Well, come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for Love is Blind Season 6, and we on the last episodes that got released, 7 through 9. So if you're not on 7 through 9, you might want to click off because there's going to be some spoilers. There absolutely going to be some spoilers because we got a lot to talk about. My name is Deborah, so I hope you will join me. We're going to be here a minute. If you can't listen to it all at once, listen to me in doses. Listen to me in doses because we got a lot to talk about, y'all. And I got a lot of notes and I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. I know everybody's all upset over this Brittany and Kenneth, whatever it is, thing going on. You know what? I knew it was coming anyway. If y'all watched my first video of the first episodes 1 through 6 on Brittany and Kenny, I told y'all they cheated. They cheated. This is supposed to be Love is Blind. And what these two did was they came in looking for something specific. First of all, I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to say it loud and I'm going to say it proud. Brittany wanted a biracial black man. Okay? Let's just be honest. Because, if we can't be honest, we can't really talk about it. Let's be honest. Brittany wanted a biracial black man. That's why when they were in the pods, Brittany asked him, what are your parents? What's your parents' ethnicities? She wanted to see if he was going to say my mama's black or my mama's white and my daddy's black. That's what she wanted to hear. She was fishing for a biracial man. And you know what? Kenny just had too much blackness for her. He did her wrong in the end. He did her wrong, but she wasn't interested in him. It was what I saw when I first saw them meet. Not only was she looking for a biracial man, she was absolutely looking for a man with more swagger. See, Brittany is falling into the stereotype of what a black man is. She really has. She don't really want all black men. She don't really want them all. She wants a specific one, and the one she wanted was a biracial one. And what she got from Kenny was all black, no cream. All black and no cream. How you like your coffee? All black with some cream, mostly cream with a little bit of black. And I think Brittany was looking for mostly cream with a little bit of black. That black being like a little bit of swagger, a little bit of the that black men are known to have out here in the street. And Kenny, my man, he wanted a blonde. He gave it away too when they were asking him, what do you think she looks like? Ooh, I think she's a blonde. And he grinned from ear to ear. And Brittany ain't no blonde, Kenny. Kenny wanted I don't know what you want to call her, not like typical white woman, but the stereotypical white woman. That's what Kenny was looking for. Kenny was looking for that. He's up here in this church choir. And, he's at church. He must not go to no black church, like I said before, because there's plenty of black women in a church. I know what Kenny was looking for. And when Kenny saw Brittany, and he was like, dang, she kind of like a black girl. Brittany got a body like a black girl. Brittany over here talking about what do you identify as. Brittany's trying to all be in the black race. And Kenny was like, this ain't what I wanted. I wanted a real white girl. Kenny wanted a blonde. He didn't want no white girl with no black girl body. He didn't want to know a white girl with no black girl mannerisms. And once he found out that she was used to dating black men, he was out. He definitely didn't want no white girl who's been used up by black men. And I don't mean it derogatory to Brittany because I like Brittany as a person. I think she's a sweet girl. I think she's beautiful. I think all that. I like her. But I don't like their intentions on how they came on this show. So I'm really okay with both of them losing. And it's not because I don't like Brittany. I actually like Brittany. I like Brittany better than I like Kenny. But they both came on here with ill intentions. Not ill intentions, I shouldn't say that. They both came in here not being true to what the experiment was about. And it was about falling in love with the person irrespective of what they looked, and that included race. And I think what Brittany and Kenny both did was they came in looking for a specific race. I do. I'm pretty convinced that Brittany wanted a biracial black man. And I'm pretty convinced that Kenny thought this was his opportunity to date a white woman because maybe out in the world, he hasn't been able to really connect with one. And he thought, wow, I'll come in here and do that. But once she found out that she was brunette, not blonde, and he found out that she dates black men all the time, he didn't feel special. He didn't feel like he snagged a white girl. He felt like, dang, did I snag a white girl and turn her out to black men? Or am I getting leftovers from all the other black men? He didn't feel good about it. He didn't feel good about it. See, when you put a certain thing on a pedestal and then it ends up not being that, you're disappointed. And Brittany's a wonderful girl. She really does seem like a wonderful girl. But Kenny, he took the opportunity. All this girl did come in, Brittany said, was one little thing. Why you get home at 1:30 in the morning? And this conversation went from 0 to 100. 0 to 100. All she said was why you came here at 1:30. And Kenny was talking about I was getting my hair twist. Them $2 twists? No, Kenny. No, see, this is why he got to be with a white girl. Because a black girl would be like, there ain't no way you was out to 2 o'clock in the morning getting those twists. Ain't no way. See, this is why he needed a white girl, because a black girl would have checked him on that and said, ain't no way you was out to 2 o'clock in the morning getting those $2 twists. I could have done that shit at home in the kitchen, in the bathroom. You sitting on the floor, me on the couch, and we could have been watching TV. See, he couldn't have pulled that with no black woman. He couldn't have pulled that with no black woman. And then he called up his choir director, his male choir director, and said, hey, bro, I'm going to be there in a minute, which tells me that where he was at 1:30 in the morning, he had already planned before he got home that he wasn't going to stick with Brittany. He already knew he wasn't going to stick with Brittany. It didn't take but a simple little phone call to his bro to tell his bro, I'll be over there in about 10 minutes. I'm going to get my stuff from over here. He already had planned his exit. He didn't like her from the beginning. That's why when they first moved back to the house, he was on his phone already. He didn't care. He didn't care from the minute he saw her with that brunette hair. And when she told him, I usually date black men. That was it. She didn't fit his fantasy, what he was looking for. If he wanted a black girl and a white girl, he could have just dated a black girl. He could have just dated a black girl. He started talking about all this stuff in the early episodes, talking about, my friends are going to be really worried. They're really going to be wanting to ask you some questions, who you are, this and that. I don't believe it, Kenny. I don't believe it one bit. Just because this is your first time dating interracially and you really haven't told your friends what your true desires are, what you were worried about, they was all going to be shocked by your choice. So then you can say, oh, I just fell in love in the pods. And, this is just how the love happened. You could have like a really good excuse. That was his game plan. See, because Kenny's out walking around here with these twists, trying to walk around like, I'm all for the black people. But what he really wanted was a blonde white girl. But he couldn't just go to his friends and say that. He couldn't go to his friends and say, I'm really not interested in dating black women no more. I really want to date a white girl. So he came up with this idea. I'm going to go on Love is Blind. And when I go on Love is Blind, I'm going to look for me a white girl. And then what I'm going to tell my friends is, hey, you know what? I didn't fall in love with color. I fell in love with the woman. And then my friends, my family, everyone will more accept it because they won't look at me as a person who specifically went out for that. But his fell apart because his image, his plan, his image that he had was a blonde. He didn't calculate the fact that, wow, what if the one white woman on the other end is one I'm not attracted to because she hasn't become the image in my head. And that's where his plan fell apart. So when he saw her in the reveal, I saw then he wasn't attracted to her. Did he tell her she was beautiful? Yes. Being attracted and attractive are two different things. Please, let's get that correct. Brittany is very attractive. I think she's beautiful. I think she's a pretty girl. I do. But that doesn't mean someone's necessarily attracted to her. Kenny was not attracted to Brittany. She's attractive, but he was attractive. And it's the same thing with Brittany. Brittany was not attracted to Kenny. That's why she says, I want all this, and I'm not getting that, feeling. She wanted a black man with swag. And this whole thing about celibacy, Brittany ain't celibate normally. Not normally. Kenny, I believe, maybe was trying to do it. Brittany really wasn't trying to do it. She liked the idea of it because she sat there and said, oh, I want to make out. I want to do this. I want to feel like we got to hold each other back. That's what Brittany's used to. Brittany's used to all this lustful feeling. She used to a man with a whole bunch of swag who's charming her and doing all these things, making her feel like the queen, and all these other kind of things. And Kenny wasn't doing none of it. None of it. He wasn't complimenting her. He wasn't feeling on her. He wasn't touching on her. Brittany wanted some sexual tension, even though they had committed to being celibate. That's what she wanted. But she said, you know what? When he walked in the door after 1:30, getting them $2 twist, you gotta be kidding me. And she said, I'm just not feeling it. You're not communicating to me. You're not doing this. She kind of just opened up a dialogue for conversation. I don't know if Brittany was saying I'm ready to throw it all away and I don't even want to try anymore. I don't think that's what she was saying. I think she might have been ringing the bell. I think she might have been waving the caution flag. But I don't think in that moment she would have given up on the marriage. But he was done the minute he saw her. He was done. That was why when they came home and they was unpacking, he didn't need to unpack nothing because he knew he wasn't going to be staying long. Not long at all. So when he was out to 1:30 in the morning, he was out over there with the other male choir director. And he told him, I'll be back. It didn't work out. Kenny stayed on that phone. Stayed on that phone. Stayed on that phone, probably scrolling through Instagram, looking at the white women he really, really likes. The look he really likes. Not the look of Brittany. And when she sat there and she finally said, and they start talking about, oh, well, I just want you to be happy. And if I'm not it, that's it. And the minute he finished his speech, he went right back to looking at that phone. Boy, he's cold-hearted. He is cold-hearted. That's why I'm telling you, he never had no feelings for her. In the past, he had feelings for her because it was based on a different image. It was the image of a white girl who never been with no black women, who was pure as snow, and he was going to be the first black woman to kind of, pop the cherry on her. But guess what? That wasn't the case. He was turned off. Turned all the way off. But he sure gaslit the hell out of her. He gaslit the hell out of her. He made her believe that she was the one that wanted to break up, and it was him who wanted to break up. Kenny's manipulative. I told you he manipulated his way onto this show, trying to pretend like he was really ready to love blindly, but he had a whole agenda. He had an entire agenda. Then he came here after 1:30, getting them $2 twists, and started trying to pretend like it was Brittany who wanted to break up, and he was just going along with it, and he wanted what was best for her, and it was really her fault that all this was happening. He gaslit her too. When the reality is, when he was sitting at home, when he was sitting in that other place he was sitting, getting them $2 twists, he hatched out his whole plan. He was coming home. He was coming home, and he was going to break up with her. He was never going to stay. He's a gaslighter and he's a manipulator. I don't like him. And all this coming from a church boy. I'm double disappointed. Double disappointed. I didn't like when he threw AD under the bus when they were talking about the race conversation. First of all, because you had that conversation with AD, that don't mean you had to bring it up with Brittany. And you threw AD under the bus. Like I said, he doesn't like to take responsibility for none of the stuff he does or says. He blamed AD. He blamed Brittany for wanting to break up. And like I said, this was all a ruse coming on this show. He would manipulate the producers to get on this show. You see, he likes to say one thing, but he's a whole totally different person. I know who Kenny is, a manipulator and a liar. I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. And I said it then when AD was worried about, can she raise a black kids? Yeah, she used to it. She used to dating black men. She was used to dating a biracial kids. But Kenny, on the other hand, nah, he wasn't ready for no black kids because Brittany, she half black. Brittany, at this time, Brittany, you half black. You've been with so many black men, and the way you walk and the way you talk and your body, you might as well call yourself half black. He's saying, when he got home at 1:30 in the morning from their $2 twist, he was turning on the lights, waking her up, trying to make her mad. He was trying to make her mad. Walking in at 1:30 in the morning. He ain't trying to creep in and crawl in the bed late and so maybe she don't know what time he's getting home. No, he's turning on lights, talking about I was trying to be with you and trying to snuggle. No, you weren't. You was trying to make her mad so she break up with you. And it worked. It worked, Kenny. She going on telling we barely kiss, we barely hug. She wants some affection. She wants some of that She want to feel that sexual tension. And he flipped it around on her and tell her she's not introspective. You're not introspective. Boy, get out of here, Kenny. Get out of here, Kenny. This is what I'm telling you. This is why Kenny ain't with no black woman. This is why Kenny ain't with no black woman, because black women have told him about himself, and he don't want no women doing it. He don't want no women doing it. So he think he was going to come over here and pull the wool over Brittany's eyes and manipulate her. And Brittany was like, I'm half black. I'm half black. All these black men I went with, I'm half black. Where my black card at? He said, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. He's like, well, give me a hug, though, so you know it ain't no beef. Woo, that was cold, y'all. That was cold. That told you right then and there. He was not caught off guard. He was not sad. He's gaslighting Brittany to act like it was all her and that he really wanted her. It was a lie. And he hatched this plan before he got done. He hatched this plan while he was sitting over there with the other choir director, because he's a praise and worship leader. He was sitting over there with the other choir director saying, I don't know what went wrong. I thought I was going to get me a Caitlyn, but I got me a Brittany. It ain't what I was looking for. How do I get out of this mess? Bye, Kenny. Bye. Going over there and swim with them dolphins that you like so much, because that's the only time you got excited, was when you saw them dolphins swimming. That was the most excitement we saw out of you for the whole 9 episodes. Bye, Kenny. Bye. We don't need to see you no more. And y'all know who else I don't feel sorry for? Chelsea. I don't feel sorry for another cheater on the show. Another cheater. I'm going to tell you, see, once you cheat, it all goes downhill after that. Once you cheat, once you lie, it all goes downhill for that. And Chelsea and Jimmy over here, Jimmy's still sitting over here trying to make this woman believe that he's going to stay with her. Like I said, it's two different things. It's two different things between wanting to be with someone attractive and attractive. I'm going to tell you, it's two different things. But you know what? I think Jimmy was going to try with Chelsea, y'all. I really do believe. There is a part of me that believes that if Chelsea hadn't been so insecure, if Chelsea hadn't been so insecure in so many different ways, I think Jimmy might have made work with her. Because it's not like Chelsea's not a good looking woman. It's not like she's not an attractive woman. You know, she did trick him. She kind of catfished him on it, but he got over it, because I think what he liked about Chelsea initially was exactly her personality, which is the whole Love is Blind thing. And now we find out how clingy Jimmy is. Is Jimmy really 27, y'all? Because he's already going bald. I ain't never seen a bald at 27. Wait a minute. You know what? Let me stop, because I was going gray at 27. So I guess I can't really talk about somebody going through some older age at a young age. I was getting gray hair at 27. So, but Jimmy is going bald at 27 years old, but he looks, like I said last time, he looked like a Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning ain't 27, and he looks like Peyton Manning's son, maybe only 10 years younger. But Chelsea's still lying, y'all. See, that's the problem. See, Chelsea can't stop. She maybe I shouldn't call Chelsea a liar. Let me call Chelsea a misrepresenter. Because I know y'all kept saying, well, it wasn't Chelsea who said she looked like Megan Fox. Other people did. Well, you repeated it. That must mean you think it's true too, which means you thought it, you liked it, which means you used it as a one-up to help boost you in the eyes. You still used it as a form of manipulation, whether someone else said it or not. But anyway, Chelsea likes to misrepresent the truth, because even when her friends came over, Chelsea started talking about how everybody was checking for Jimmy. All the women wanted him. So she wanted her friends to believe all the women wanted Jimmy, and she beat out all the other women. Is this the truth, people, or is this another misrepresentation? I'm going to call it a misrepresentation. How many people really wanted Jimmy? Besides Jessica. And Jessica was plug and play anyway. She didn't care if his name was Jimmy, Mark, Brian, or Lou. Jessica just wanted to bring a man home, period. And I really don't like, I know Jessica comes on later and she starts talking about Autumn again, and how she told Autumn, well, I fell in love with this man, but he picked another woman. Jessica, why are you sharing all this with a 10-year-old woman? I'm sorry, a 10-year-old girl. This is my problem. Jessica treating Autumn like Autumn is her best friend. Why is a 10-year-old girl learning about relationships to this extent? Men not loving women, men choosing other women, mama getting rejected, all this heartbreak at 10 years old. Why are you putting your woes as a grown woman on the back of your 10-year-old daughter? That's way too much. I even thought Autumn was too much involved even in this process. Too much involved. She was telling her way too much. She should have come up with another story. But this idea that I'm going to go down in the liquor store and when I come back, I'm going to bring you a whole daddy. I mean, to tell you, Jessica told the story to Autumn like, hey, girl, just want to let you know I'm going to go to the liquor store. And when I come back, I'm going to bring you a whole daddy. And she come back from the liquor store and Autumn is like, well, where's my daddy? And Jessica's like, he didn't love me, girl. He didn't love me. Let me cry in your arms, Autumn. Ugh. I know Autumn has a daddy, and I think Jessica told me Autumn's dad is a good dad and is in her life. So I don't want to make it seem like Autumn don't have no daddy. But what she was looking for was a husband for her mother, and that's way too much pressure on a 10-year-old daughter. She should not be this involved this much in all this up and down. What do you think she's going to do with this information now at 10 years old? Her first involvement with men will be of her father, where they broke up, and now the second one is going to be this whole love story with the mother. It's too much, Jessica. It's just too much. She ain't your best friend. She's your daughter, and she's only 10 years old. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. But Jessica is brimming with a whole lot of confidence. She's like, maybe he will want me. Maybe he will want me. I know Jeremy got in trouble going to that little rendezvous at the bar. I think Jessica was at that bar too with Jimmy. I think that's what we're going to find out in these next episodes, that all these men at 10:45 at night, 11 o'clock at night, met up at the same bar, and all these men had other women at that bar. Maybe that's where Kenny was too when he got home at 1:30. Maybe that's where Jimmy was. Maybe that's what Jeremy was. They was all at the same place checking out other options, and they all came home with different game plans. The only one we haven't heard so far was Clay there. Was Clay there? Y'all gonna be surprised about my opinion of Clay. I think I'm rooting for Clay and AD. I do. I can see it happening. So y'all gonna have to stick with me after this when I start talking about Brittany and not Brittany. Finish talking about Chelsea and Jimmy, because I'm gonna get on Clay and AD, and I think I am going to surprise some of y'all. But Chelsea, with this need to be told that she's beautiful and that he loves her 50 times a day, Jimmy's tired. TIYAD, tired. That's what he is. And he said, good Lord, I gotta work full time, and then for full time, I gotta tell you that I love you and how pretty you are. She's so thirsty for hugs and kisses and positive affirmations. She can't even remember the times he said that he did kiss her or that he did tell her I love you. She like an empty cup. You pour in it, she's empty 2 minutes later, talking about you didn't fill up my cup today. He's like, dang girl, I just kissed you just about 2 hours ago. It don't matter. Her cup is empty. She got a hole in it already. She's so insecure. Ugh. It's very unattractive to be attractive on the outside, but then have all this insecurity. I don't like it. I don't like it. But she couldn't wait to tell her girlfriends, everybody wanted Jimmy, but I won him. You see, I won him. That's the problem. That's the problem, Chelsea. You were so busy trying to beat out Jessica. Now you won Jimmy, and now you're talking about he don't love you, he don't kiss on you, and he don't give you enough positive affirmations. You should have chose Trevor. You should have chose Trevor. But she loved telling the story of how men were fighting over her in the past. Her girlfriends were like, ooh, really, Chelsea? Really, Chelsea? Girl, Megan Fox. And what will she say? She looked like Carrie Underwood. This must be, she said everybody always tell her this when she on the plane. This must be drunk people. These are people telling Chelsea this who want free drinks. Okay, Chelsea, they telling you this because they want you to give them a couple of them bottles for free on the domestic flight. We know it's free on the international flight, but on the domestic flight, they pumping you up, telling you look like Carrie Underwood and Megan Fox because they want you to give them a free couple of little Jack Daniels. They drunk on the plane. And then she started trying to gaslight Jimmy, talking about, Jimmy, you changed when she saw that picture of Jessica. No. She said Jimmy started causing all these problems and bringing up all these issues when he saw a picture of Jessica. But it was actually the opposite. It was actually the opposite. Chelsea got triggered, and Chelsea's insecurities went from a 0 to 100 when she saw and found out that Jimmy saw a picture of Jessica, because Jeremy showed it to him, talking about Jessica looked like one of the Kardashians. Jeremy a troublemaker. Jeremy is a troublemaker not only in this marriage, but he's a troublemaker in his own marriage too. What a dweeb he turned out to be. What a dweeb. Jimmy said, well, you are a little bit, you too clingy. Jimmy told her, you too clingy, and she went all the way off. She went all the way off, starting to misrepresent the truth again. Let's talk about the misrepresentation. When she talking about, I cooked for you, I cleaned for you, I sat and watched your Raggedy TV show, and then I sat over there and went upstairs and had sex with you. He's like, wait a minute, hold your horses, lady. I really didn't want to have sex with you. You wanted that. She's like, oh, well, that's just a mere formality. There you go, Chelsea. You went up there because you wanted more attention. You wanted to gather more attention. You wanted to make him like you more. And so you wanted to have sex with him. He didn't really want it, but you tried to frame it as if it was something he wanted. I tell you, she misrepresents the truth. Y'all not really ready to call her a liar. That's fine. That's fine. I'll wait on y'all. I will wait on y'all. But we're going to have to agree on she misrepresents the truth a lot. She tweaks stories. Or let me tell you, are you not ready for misrepresent the truth? Are you ready to say that she tweaks the stories? She tweaks it just a little bit too much. Jimmy said he could have had a breather on that sex too. He didn't really want that either. And then he went upstairs and packed his shit and left. He said, I'm out of here. I'm going to go stay at my own apartment. I ain't going to sit around here with this clean woman complaining at me, gaslighting me, telling me it's all me, even though it is part of me too, but it's her too and all her insecurities. Chelsea can't help it. She know the truth. Chelsea know the truth. She knows the truth. He don't really love her. He don't really love her. I think it's more what the friends said. I think the friends called it right, that no matter who Jimmy's with, he really gets into the woman. But I don't think it lasts. I think that's why he's here. I think he's one of those people who latches on and grabs onto the people real tight, but he doesn't really, it's all like just in the initial lust. It's the cleanness. Then after that settles down, he starts to feel it, probably feel like, does he really like this woman? Once he gets in touch with his real emotions, then he realizes, I really don't want to be with this woman. And that's probably why his relationships break up. Because his girlfriend said that what he's doing with her is what he normally does. He dives in real deep. He can't breathe without the woman. He needs her. Then after a while, more than likely, after he's filled up, he's feeling good. That's probably afterwards when the relationship starts to fall apart. He says, but you smothering me. I need you to back up a little bit. He ain't used to this. He's used to smothering the woman, but now he getting smothered by her. Chelsea keeps saying she's secure. She says she got her dream job and everything. And, she's done a lot of healing since her marriage, and now she's real secure. Girl, no, you're not. No, you're not. If you got to keep running around talking about how people think you look like Carrie Underwood and Megan Fox, you're not secure with who you are because you're too busy trying to look like other people. You're not secure who you are. You're too busy making references to other people about your looks. You're not secure in your looks. You're not. You're too busy trying to put yourself in this genre with other people. Who keeps going around saying stuff like that over and over again, picking celebrities who they look like? Trying to emulate them. Girl, go back to therapy. Go back to therapy, Chelsea. And even when she said she had built her dream job and she had said, she's so secure. And then she was talking to her friends, talking about she feels seen and heard. No, you don't, because you was just complaining, saying before that you didn't feel seen and heard enough by him. Like I tell you, she lies. She misrepresents the truth. She tweaks the stories a little bit too much for my enjoyment. I don't like it. I don't trust it. I don't trust anything. So you know what? Is this relationship falling apart? Yes, it is. But you know what? I called it from the beginning. Because the foundation of this relationship was a lie. The foundation of the relationship was a lie. And Chelsea has been going along this whole Netflix season, misrepresenting truth, withholding truth, lies by omission when she didn't tell people she was divorced too. All of it. It just started all off with bad juju, bad karma, bad everything. And now it's ending terribly as well. So she can be mad at Jimmy all she wants, but she had a hand in all this. She had a hand in all of it. So once again, just like I said with Brittany and Kenny, hey, you get what you put in. You get what you put in. You put in crap, you get crap out. And that's what I feel about both of these couples. Now we're going to move on to Clay and AD, y'all. And I think they're going to get married. Yep, y'all. I think they both are going to say yes at the altar. Now, will they make it to 20, 30 years? I don't know about that. But I think these two are going to say yes at the altar. I really, really do believe it. Let me tell you why. I think Clay is brutally honest, but what I don't see with Clay is that Clay's a liar. You see, all these other men are lying and pretending that they really like these women, right? You got Jimmy pretending. You got Jeremy, we figured out, pretending. We had Kenny pretending for a while. I think Johnny's not pretending. When I get to him, I think Johnny and Amy are solid, but we're going to talk about that birth control stuff. Good Lord. But anyway, I don't think Clay is pretending because I don't think Clay is a liar. I think Clay is actually the opposite. I think Clay is a brutally honest person to the point that he hurts your feelings. He did it all in the pods. He was being honest when he said, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm not physically attracted to you, it's going to be a no-go. He was brutally honest. I know the experiment was supposed to be love is blind, but what Clay was trying to tell you is no, I'm not going to be blind when I see you. And I think what he says is brutally lying. That's why I do not believe that Clay is lying when he says he likes AD and he wants to make a go with AD. And I really did, initially I was trying to think, is he lying like the other women, the other men, trying to pretend like he doesn't think AD is beautiful? But I think he does. When I saw his family, when I saw his sister, I was like, shoot, AD could be part of his family. AD could be part of the family. And that made me feel even more confident that, and I think AD is a good looking woman. And let me tell you something, AD looks so much better without those eyelashes. You know what? I don't wear fake eyelashes. I wish I could. I want to. I just don't know how to put them on right. I tried different ones. But I know which ones I don't like. I don't like the ones that are so big that you look like you're going to fly away. I don't like them. And those ones that AD wears, they're horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I think she needs to change the size of them, the style or something. Where are my beauty people? El Ramey, All Things Beauty, where are you? Somebody needs to give AD some pointers on which eyelashes to wear. Because when I saw AD with no makeup, no lashes, no nothing, I was like, oh, wow, she's a pretty woman. And they had this one candid shot where they both were doing just like a video, a selfie or whatever, and they both had their glasses on, fresh face. I think AD's hair was even tied up. I thought she was pretty. So I actually do believe that the attraction Clay has for AD is real. I don't think it's fake. I don't think it's fake one bit. But I think they're going to have a little bit of a trouble because I know Clay has a strong personality. But I'm believing Clay. I'm believing Clay that Clay is a wounded man. He's wounded. He's very, very wounded. I mean, this story that Clay told about his philandering, cheating daddy, and that his daddy took him on cheating dates. It's horrendous. I'm talking about Autumn over here with Autumn and Jessica making Autumn her best friend. How does a philandering daddy make his own son his wingman? Let me tell you, that needs a lot of therapy when your daddy made you and your daddy was a cheater and made you a wingman to his cheating ways. And Clay held the secret all these years. Well, the secret is out, Clay. Your mama gonna see this video and she gonna be like, what the hell? I know this mama came on later on. I liked her. I did. I thought she gave him some good advice about giving each other grace. But then she said she had a good run for 23 years. And I was like, girl, no, you didn't. You might have been there for 23 years, but I don't know if that was no good run. But hey, you know what? I don't want to classify things. I mean, but you and Clay are telling two different stories. Y'all two are telling two a completely different stories. Unless ignorance is bliss, unless she didn't know all this time, but Clay knew. Clay is scarred. He is traumatized by his daddy's philandering ways. And now he's so deathly afraid he won't be able to deliver and be a husband who's faithful. Now, does this mean that Clay has been a cheater all his life with his girlfriends? Is this what he's telling us? Is he also telling us that, hey, I've tried to be faithful with other women and it hasn't happened? Because I haven't heard that from him. I haven't heard him say that he cheated on existing girlfriends. Now, he might have had a whole lot of women, but he hasn't specifically said, I've never been faithful to a woman. What he's wondering is, can I be with one woman for the rest of my life? So maybe he's the guy that's with a woman for 6 months. He's faithful to her, but he's not in long-term relationships. So he has had a lot of women, but he's never cheated on a woman. I wonder if that's who Clay is. I wonder if that's who he is. And so now he's wondering, can I stick with one woman, AD, with her and never cheat on her? But you know what? I'm believing Clay, y'all. Y'all might call me a sucker, naive, but I think they're going to make it, y'all. I think they're going to make it through the wedding. I do. I'm going to say yes, because I think Clay is a lot of work. And I think AD, she even confessed and said she's a fix-it person, And I think she's going to try. I don't think she's just going to throw it away. Now, how long will it last afterwards? Will it last a year, 2 years, 5 years? I don't know. But I think we're going to get a yes from them on decision day. I think that there's enough here that there's no real concrete reason for AD to say no, because Clay has been brutally honest in saying this is something I worry about because he feels it's in his DNA. It's what he grew up with. It's what he's used to looking for. But it may be the very thing that makes him not do it. I don't know. But whatever the fear is, I think AD is going to push through that fear, because it's a fear any woman would have. I think she's going to push through the fear, and I think she's going to say yes. I do. I think she's going to say yes. And I think he's going to say yes because he's pushing through fear too. See, she's pushing through fear because she doesn't know if she can trust him. And he's pushing through fear because he doesn't know if he can trust himself. They're both scared, but I think they're both going to push through it in their fear and hope for the best. That's what I think. And I'm going to root for them because y'all know I love, and I'm going to root for it on the other end, because at least with these two couples, we're getting honesty. I don't know if any of y'all watched my other videos, any of the other shows. One thing I value is honesty, even when it's brutal, even when it hurts, because I think it allows you to come to a situation with a sober mind. I think when you come to a situation lying to yourself and lying to others, you put yourself at a disadvantage. I like the fact that Clay is being brutally honest, which means AD does have a choice. She has a choice. But also they know exactly what their challenges are going to be. He knows he's egotistical. He's got trauma. He talks about he wants to go to therapy. He's laying it all out on the table. But he's affectionate. He wants to be up under her. He affirms her. Kiss me, girl. Come over here. He's doing all those things the right way. We find out that he's a provider. Okay, he's got his own home. He also sounds like he's got other businesses. His mama called him entrepreneur. He's out here hustling. Let me tell you something. All you ladies out here dating men in their 30s, they're going to be working. I don't know how many dating shows I got to watch and hear a woman in her 30s complaining about a man in his 30s working a lot of hours. Girl, men in their 30s, that's when they work a lot of hours. That's when they're building. That's when they're hustling. That's when they trying to get their money right. That's when they're trying to set foundations. Same thing Johnny's talking about over here. They all got the same thing. So I don't know where these women are coming in at 30 years old thinking that they're going to get a whole lot of time all the time. It's not going to happen. That time don't come to later, y'all. I just want to let you know I'm older. It comes around. It does come around. But in their 30s, most men who really trying to do something with their life, they work a lot of hours. I just want to let y'all know that. So when you passing through the men who are working hard in their 30s, you're also passing through the men that when they get older in their 40s and 50s, they have something set up. That's when all of a sudden you want them, because now they're in their 40s and 50s and they got time and now you want them. Well, too late. The women who were with them in their 30s while they were building, they already got them men. So AD needs to tighten up, because what it sounds like was that Clay was over there at sleeping over at his place in Lake Norman. I guess that's nearby. Sounds like Clay got an Airbnb. That's what it sounds like. Sounds like Clay has an Airbnb in Lake Norman, and when he went up there to set up the house for some people who had rented the house, he had to gas up the boat or whatever he said, jet skis, and get it ready for the people who paid to stay in that house. And I was talking about this on another show, Ready to Love, another man in real estate. Because see, I'm in the real estate world. I know what it looks like. So when I hear it, I know what he was doing. And he said it was an hour away, and so I stayed there. But he texted her, he called her, he told her. He's working. He's making money. He's not driving back an hour to where they live and then driving back another hour to Lake Norman when he got people who gonna be showing up. No, ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. He told her, hey, I already got this house. I already paid the mortgage. You just move on in here. I got it covered. So you got a provider, you got a protector, you got an entrepreneur husband, you got a man that got several sources of income coming in. He's a hustler. He's telling you that he loves you. He's telling you that you're beautiful. He's telling you that let me lay on you, let me hug on you, let me kiss on you, let me love on you. And the only thing he's telling you is, I come from a background of a cheating father, and what I worry about is, will I turn into my daddy? I don't want to be my daddy. He's just telling you his fears. He's not saying he's going to do it. He's fearful. And you mean to tell me you disregard all this other stuff for that one fear he's exposing you? Nah, she going to say yes. She's going to say yes. She's going to give it a try. And hopefully it works out for them. I think he needs therapy, deep therapy. But I hope she says yes. And I hope that he has a chance to heal. And I hope that they help each other. I really do. He's scared. He said he don't want to let her down. He don't want a divorce. He don't want to end up like his parents. And but he's a straight shooter, and boy, it can be brutal. He gonna have to work on his delivery, because when he told AD, well, then what is the problem? AD was like, whoa. I would have been just like you, AD. Whoa, time out. Clay, time out. See, and I think AD will be good for him, because I do think that AD has enough pushback that in those moments when Clay gets a little out of hand, she can't check him. I think she has enough. She has this softness to her. She does. But I think she has enough in her that also will allow her to check him in those moments when she needs to, but not get run over by him. Because it's a delicate balance. Clay has a big ego, so he's not going to be able to take any type of real like alpha female. They will clash. They will go at it. They will be going at it like cats and dogs in the house. But he also can't take a woman that will just get run over completely. And I think AD has a little bit of both. I do. I think she has a little bit of both. And I think she has the ability to determine which one she's going to turn on. Because even in her conversation with AD, she stood up with him. She said, listen, there's been no point in time where I ever said that I didn't want you to work, that I ever said. She made it real clear. She was actually pretty sharp even in her delivery to him. So that's when I said, oh, look at AD. Look at AD coming with it. She was sharp even in her comment to him. That's why I think she can handle Clay. But I don't want her to have to handle Clay, and I don't want Clay to have to handle her. I want them both to be able to tone it down a little bit. He's going to have to tone it down. He is. But I think he really wants it to work. I think that whatever these demons are that he has in him, that he's afraid will rise up because it's in his DNA, it's in his blood. He thinks he may have inherited from his father. And as he says, I've never seen a faithful black man. That was sad to hear. That was sad to hear when Clay said he's never seen a faithful black man. And he said, even with these people on TV like Will Smith and all this, good Lord, can we get Clay some mentors? Can we get Clay some mentors? I think Clay needs to be around some faithful black men mentors so he can see what he's never seen. Right? Because right now he has a fear because he hasn't seen what he wants to become. I think Clay knows what type of man he wants to be, but what he's scared about is he's never seen the man he wants to be. He's never seen him. He didn't see it in his daddy, and what he's saying now is he doesn't even see it in his circle of friends. I think he needs some mentors, some men that he can look up to and say, wow, okay. Not put the men on a pedestal, but some men that he can say, hey, I'm not a pioneer. I'm not the first to do it. I think he needs some mentors. And I think if he has some mentors, I think he will start believing in himself more too. Barack Obama didn't cheat on Michelle. At least we don't know nothing of it. Barack Obama. Use Barack Obama, Clay. Do not use Will Smith. Please do not use Will Smith. Use Barack Obama. You could tell that Clay got a lot of stuff twirling in his head. Even AD was like, he goes off in a zone. Things are in his head twirling. Because I think Clay is a thinker, probably an overthinker or overanalyzer. That's why he's also worried about all the potholes and the dangers. He's not just living. And I think I think she can bring that fun, because AD's a fun girl. She's fun. I could tell she's a fun girl, and I think she can bring that fun to their life and have a good time. But he's an overthinker, and I think at first she was taking it personally. And I think once she talked to, was it Jeremy or someone she talked to, and said, hey, when Clay gets quiet and goes into his corner and starts ruminating and thinking, it's really not about you. He was doing it in the pods with the men. And I think AD felt so much better. I think at first she was thinking that, is it that he doesn't like me? And I think she's realizing it's just a part of him. I think Clay is an overthinker. I think he's an overanalyzer. I think he ruminates. And I think he's got a lot of things in his head. He's a lot of work. He is a lot of work. He needs therapy. But I think therapy would help him out a lot. I really do. But Clay's house was nice. He had a vision board up. Man, a man with a vision board, he's a thinker. He even had a picture of a man and wife kissing. That tells you right there. That tells you that he thinks. He's a thinker. He isn't just out here lying. I believe him, y'all. I know some of you don't believe him. I believe him 100% that what he's saying to AD is really what he wants. And he's really just expressing his fears. And I think AD ought to say yes to him. I think AD ought to give him a chance. You've come this far. Okay? Maybe if she met Clay on the street, maybe she wouldn't have given him a second chance. Maybe she would have kept going. But where you are now in the process, you've gone through the whole pods, you've all this. At this point in time, I think it deserves an extension. I think it deserves going forward and saying yes, unless something pops up that we don't know about. But all these men had this rendezvous. All these men were out here doing mischievous things. We know that Jimmy was out here probably meeting up with Jessica. We know that Jeremy was over here meeting up with Sarah Ann. We know all these things were going on in the background, but it sounds like Clay, who people want to call the Playboy, was the only one taking care of business, standing on business, going out to his Airbnb, getting it ready to make money so he can come home, put a roof over AD's head and pay the bills and provide for her. And I think this should be enough for her to say yes. Maybe eventually she can quit that night job she got, being the VIP manager at a club to 3 o'clock in the morning. She better be happy that Clay don't have no problem with that, because a lot of men would have a problem with their wife being a VIP manager at a club at 3 o'clock in the morning, using your body to entertain other men. See, that might be a problem later on. So to be honest with you, let me tell you something. AD ought to be happy. AD ought to be happy, because there's a lot of men who won't want that as a job for their wife. They would tell her, you got to quit that job. You got to quit that job. So AD is used to using her feminine wiles, her body, her looks to make her money. She used it as a cheerleader. Now she's using it as a VIP manager in the club. So let me tell you something. AD might want to not look as if Clay, not look too down on Clay, which I don't think she is. I think she really respects him. So I'm expecting a yes out of these two. I'm expecting a yes. And another couple I'm expecting a yes from are Amy and Johnny. I'm expecting a yes out of them too. I really am. This idea over the birth control, this was a silly conversation. What are these two people? 12 years old. They don't know about birth control options. Johnny don't know anything about condoms. And Amy don't know anything about other forms of birth control besides birth control pills. Girl, this ain't 1970. There are lots of options of birth control for women, and men can wear a condom. They should both participate. Instead of putting all the weight on one person, guess what, Johnny? I guess you're going to have to cover it up. I guess you're going to have to cover it up as well. And let me tell you, I understand Amy not want to go on birth control pills. It does not suit every single woman. It does not feel good to every single woman. So I support her in that. But the idea that she doesn't have to be on any, I don't support that. I don't support that. I don't support you not planning out your family to some degree. I don't support that. And I don't support her telling him, get a vasectomy. Girl, you sound like a 10-year-old. A vasectomy? You think that vasectomy is less invasive than other forms of birth control that a woman may have. No, you both need to do it. You both need to participate in some way. Go have a joint conversation with a medical doctor, because you two people sound ignorant. Ignorant. But other than that ignorant conversation about birth control, I like these two together. I see it. I really see them together. I see them making it. I see them saying yes. I see the love between them. I see Johnny learning bachata to really get to know a lot more of her Latina side. I'm getting to see her starting to love him for who he is. I see this little thing coming up between her and her daddy. Her daddy better come around. Her daddy better come around, because Johnny loves this woman. Johnny loves her a lot. And let me tell you something. There's a lot more stuff going on with Amy. I'm telling you, all that stuff she told us last time about the autistic brother and everything. She better be glad. She better be happy she got a man who loves her and says, you know what, if we ever have to take care of your autistic brother, that's not going to be a problem. We can do it. But Johnny all about that money. He is about that money. He is adamant that he is not going to have any children without having a financial foundation. But I'm kind of worried about how much financial foundation Johnny needs. He seems kind of rigid, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. He was talking about it so much, so dogmatic. I was like, dang, Johnny, this sounds like, where does this come from? Did Johnny grow up poor? Oh, he did say he grew up poor. He said that he doesn't want to live the life like he lived before, not having stuff. So he wants to make sure his kids have everything. Don't be raising no entitled, spoiled kids, Johnny. That's what happens when you grow up poor and then you want to give your kids everything. Then they grow up spoiled and entitled and didn't have to work for nothing. Then you pissed off at that because you got to raise them for the rest of their life and keep giving them money because they don't know how to earn no money. Because since when they was born, you was living out your trauma. You was so busy trying to cover up your trauma of being poor, you didn't teach your kids how to earn money. And now you raise spoiled and entitled kids. We see it all the time. But he's real dogmatic. That's one thing about Johnny. He's kind of dogmatic. He's dogmatic about the finances. He's dogmatic about this birth control thing. And they probably going to need somebody to help them, counsel them, and help them work through issues, because I feel like Johnny's going to dig in on issues. Like, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. And it may frustrate Amy, because I don't think that she's a pushover either. Because she kind of holding her own right now, too, about, I guess you're going to have to figure out this birth control thing. What? I don't know. I hope they can come to a middle ground on that. I hope that does not be the deal killer. Even though Johnny said that might be a deal killer, this birth control thing. Y'all, it's 2024. It's so many options. There are so many options. He don't need to have no vasectomy, Amy, and you don't have to go on birth control pills. But you got a whole lot of options on what to do. And Amy talking about she don't want to have no kids anyway to 5 more years. But if we have one in between, it'll be okay. Yeah, because I hope Johnny don't be coming across talking about the A word. You forget about that, Johnny. You can forget about that. I'm glad he didn't mention nothing about that. Nothing about that. Talking about if we get pregnant and we're not really ready. I was holding my breath. I know this man ain't going to mention that if they get pregnant before they're ready and they're married. I hope he don't mention something that I think he's going to mention, like the A word, because he got to have everything planned. I really hope he wasn't going to go there, but she made it clear that if that ever happens, we're going to be just fine. We will be just fine. And something tells me that Amy don't really have no really high paying job either. That might be another reason why Johnny's kind of concerned. I don't think Amy makes that much money. I think she works for I don't know. I don't think e-commerce specialist. That kind of reminds me of e-commerce is online. I don't think she makes that much money. And I think Johnny's realizing that he's going to have to carry maybe more of the financial load of the family. And so what he wants to make sure is that that they're prepared for children, because children are expensive. They really are. But he might be overdoing a bit. But any doctors out there, give these people some ideas on birth control, because right now they stuck in the 70s talking about the only option are birth control pills or nothing else. That sounds ridiculous. But last but not least, we got Laura and the dweeb Johnny. We got Laura and the dweeb Johnny. Good Lord. When the show first came on, they weren't even sleeping in the same room. I already knew last episode, these two ain't gonna make it. Not gonna make it. Not gonna happen. And as we can see at the end of this season, episode 9, Laura's like, she's done. She's out. She's gone. You done stayed up to 5 o'clock in the morning with Sarah Ann. And Johnny's a fool. I shared my location. You shared your location, and then she was able to track you to somewhere where you said you weren't. You are a stone cold fool. And so what if you shared your location on where your car is? Sarah Ann could have had a car. You could have ridden in Sarah Ann's car somewhere else. 5 o'clock in the morning. Let me tell you something. If my husband ever got home at 5 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't even know it. I wouldn't even know if he got home at 5. You know why? Because I wouldn't be at home at 5. I wouldn't be at home at 5. I would have left. 1:30, 2 o'clock, my husband at home. I'm packing a bag. I'm going to go to a hotel. And when he gets home, at whatever time he gets home, his ass will not find me there. That's right. That is right. Call me petty. But I will spend $200 on a hotel room. And if he ever gets home at that time, his ass won't find me there. And when he calls me and when he texts me, he won't know the hell where I am. And I will not be texting him my location. Call me petty, but that's who I am. Ain't no way it's gonna happen. Ain't no way it's gonna happen. Especially you ain't even got no kids in the house. All you had to do was remove yourself. You ain't even got to remove your kids. Shoot. Please. The Marriott, you got a room? I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. Ain't no way Johnny would have found me at home at 5:30 in the morning. No way at all. But you know what? It didn't even matter because Laura, let me tell you something. Laura's a handful. Laura, all this passive aggressiveness, this fighting, this bantering, they go back. Even her mama said, this don't look good. Y'all kind of going at each other a little bit, low key going at each other. And this is what Laura liked though. Laura likes that type of toxic relationship. You could tell. She likes it. That's what she does. She even does it in her own family. She does it with her sister. She does it with her dad. She does it with her mom. She does it with everyone. She doesn't just do it with Johnny. And somehow or another, Laura thinks this is cute. She thinks it's attractive. She thinks it's okay, but it's not. Her daddy is done. Her daddy is so done with her. Did you see her daddy's look on his face when Laura talks? He's just like, ugh, how can any man really be with her? I barely can be with her as her daddy. People are done with Laura. Her sister's done with her. Everybody's done trying to tell Laura to be different, trying to tell Laura not to be so nitpicky, so judgmental, so everything. But she ain't listening. She thinks she's good just the way she is, so she ain't going to improve. Laura going to be single AF for a long time. She loves telling stories to put Jeremy down in front of the family and act like it's a joke. She's always undercutting him in front of other people. She likes to make jokes at his expense. Jeremy ain't with that. Let me tell you something, Laura. Sarah Ann didn't steal your man. You ran your man away. You really did. Sarah Ann didn't really even need to do much but breathe. And your man was willing and ready to go over there because in the end, Jeremy didn't want to be with Laura. And secretly, Laura don't like Jeremy either. Let's be real about it. She didn't like him either. It's her personality as it is, but I don't think she liked Jeremy because she didn't even like him at the honeymoon. The way she talks to him and treats him, I just don't think she likes him. But it's also part of her personality because she did it with her sister. Her sister was trying to calm her down and tell her, why are you worried about these things? These things are inconsequential. And she's like, I don't care. It's what I care about. Hawaiian shirts. Why are we still talking about Hawaiian shirts, Laura? Ugh. It's pettiness. It's just so petty. Thought she was going to come into Jeremy's house and start nitpicking on his cleanliness until she realized he's OCD and he's even more clean than her. But she was waiting. She was waiting to pick on him about his cleanliness and come to find out he's more clean than her. And so she was like, oh, I guess he wins. I guess he wins. Yeah, because that's what she was going to come in and try to do. Boss him around and tell him what he's not going to do. But then she still had complaints. Oh, this looks staged. This looks this. Ugh, too much complaints. Too much complaining. She's always busting his balls, talking about how you didn't go to college. I'm the smartest one. I don't like too much of Laura's conversation at all. I really don't. I don't like, and even remember in the pod, she was the one that told Jessica, walk away, go home, don't sit here and take this. And now here she is starting to start some mess between Jessica and Jimmy, telling Jessica when they met for lunch, oh yeah, Jimmy wants to see you. He wants to meet with you. Laura is messy. Messy, messy, messy. She was the one that did that whole bean dip thing. She's messy. She likes to start shit. She likes stuff kicked up. She's toxic. She's just plain old toxic. Even her daddy said, don't make her a princess. Don't put her up on a pedestal because she will run all over you. Her own daddy said that to Jeremy. Don't put your wife on a pedestal because this girl is toxic and she'll run all over you. It's what she does. But she said, you leave at 10:45 in the morning. You don't get home to 5 a.m. Laura says, I'm out. 5 o'clock in the morning talking to Sarah Ann. Yo, goodbye. Oh, I'm sorry. It wasn't 10:45 in the morning. 10:45 at night. First of all, that would have been a problem. You leaving at 10:45? No. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not leaving at 10:45. No, you're not. Shoot, if I can't come home at 5 o'clock in the morning, neither can you. Neither can you. You want me leaving at 10:45 and getting home and in the wee hour of the morning? No. Jeremy was doing the walk of shame. 5 o'clock in the morning, that's the walk of shame, y'all. But now that their marriage is broken up, I guess Laura will turn to messing up other people's marriages. And I guess she's going to put her sights on Jimmy and Chelsea's. That ain't going to take a lot of work either, Laura. It didn't take a lot of work to break up yours, and it ain't going to take a lot of work to break up Jimmy and Chelsea. So you got an easy job. You got an easy job. But anyway, that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and I will talk to y'all later. Okay, bye.